Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
The Trinidad government bows to opposition pressure on the controversial FATCA legislation. Our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Friday, January 6. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Ricardo Roberts. Good evening. After months of wrangling with the opposition on the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, FATCA, the Keith Rowley administration on Friday bowed to the demands that the controversial bill be sent to a joint select committee of Parliament. But in tabling the motion to withdraw the bill from the committee of the whole House, Finance Minister Colm Imbert gave the opposition, led by Kamala Persad-Bissessar, an ultimatum.
You want the joint select? Well, you get in your joint select. And we'll come back here in the public interest, in the national interest, within 21 days by the 3rd of February, and we are putting this matter to the vote. I beg to move, Madam Speaker.
In her response to the motion, Persad-Bissessar said that she had outlined many reasons in a 9-page letter why the opposition wanted the matter dealt with in a joint select committee. But she said there was one that she didn't write.
But I'm in the parliament today, and I want to say it. We do not trust that government. We do not trust them. And where it is that fundamental rights are going to be violated, as in this legislation, complex and far-reaching clauses, overreaching within it, then that is an ideal kind of piece of legislation to go before joint select committee. We do not trust you.
But in his rebuttal, the finance minister called Persad-Bissessar's reasons spurious and absurd. The 6 members of the Joint Select Committee, which has to report to the Parliament on February 3rd, are Colm Imbert, Faris Al-Owari, that's Stuart Young, Marlene MacDonald, Bo Tiwari, and Tim Gopi Singh. A Haitian senator has been extradited to the United States to face drug conspiracy and money laundering charges. Guy Felipe, a former rebel leader, was accompanied by armed agents from the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, on a non-commercial flight to Florida on Thursday night. His attorney, Mario Delcy, called on parliamentarians to condemn the arrest and extradition. Political observers say Felipe was arrested before having all the immunities conferred on him as a result of his election as senator for the Grand Anse district in the legislative polls last November. The DEA had listed Felipe as wanted on charges of conspiracy to import cocaine and money laundering. And following his arrest, several people took to the streets in departments of the South and Grand Anse demanding his release. They set fire to several barricades and clashed with police. They have accused interim President Jocelyn Mepriva as being the main person behind Felipe's arrest and extradition. St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves continues to denounce Citizenship by Investment Programs, CIPS. This as opposition parties in St. Lucia and Dominica question how their governments are running the programs. Gonsalves says other Eastern Caribbean leaders are free to adopt such programs, but St. Vincent and the Grenadines will not.
The highest office in the land is that of citizen, higher than Prime Minister, higher than Governor General. It is not a commodity for sale. The passport is the outward sign of the inward grace of citizenship. And that too is not for sale. When people tell me I can make a lot of money from it, there are lots of things you can make money from which you would not necessarily get engaged in. But as I say, I am not criticizing any of my brothers in the other countries who want to go there. That is their right. We agree to disagree on this one.
St. Lucia, however, is not the only OECS territory embroiled in controversy over economic citizenship. Dominica's opposition leader, Lennox Linton, has been labeled a traitor by the government there for his appearance last Sunday on CBS News magazine 60 Minutes. The TV program highlighted the perceived downside of economic citizenship. Moreover, concerns have been raised about the ease of movement in the OECS by individuals of questionable repute who gain citizenship through a form of CIP, given each territory has their own unique qualification processes.
Are you not concerned about easy access to St. Vincent by holders of passports from other countries?
I have arrangements in place to take care of that.
Dominica has the lowest threshold for citizenship qualification at US $100,000.
And that report from Miguel Ferver of HTS News Force. Meantime, the St. Lucia government has dismissed opposition criticism of the island's CIP. Opposition leader Philip Pear had charged that the decision by the government to change the program's regulations from January 1 this year had effectively damaged the reputation and image of the program. But speaking at a news conference late Thursday, Prime Minister Alan Chasney insisted that a very stringent due diligence process remains in place to ensure the integrity of the initiative. He told reporters that the information that was coming into the CIP was too complicated, onerous, and unconvincing as to whether an individual was worth $3 million or more. And prominent hotelier in Dominica has come out in condemnation of the opposition leader, Lennox Linton, over his denigration of the country's CIP on the CBS 60 Minutes program recently. In an open letter to Linton published on Dominica News Online, Gregoire Nassif fired a slew of questions at the opposition leader. He asked him to explain why he would go on an international program and portray the island as, quote, a rogue nation selling passports, mail order suggesting you can buy a passport like you buy a pair of shoes on Amazon, end quote. Linton told a viewership of over 12 million people that the economic citizenship program in Dominica was not being properly run and anyone with the right amount of money could get a diplomatic passport without even going to the island. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit subsequently held a press conference refuting Linton's statements. The Eastern Caribbean Court of Appeal has ordered that the documents pertaining to the December 2015 general election in St. Vincent and the Grenadines not be destroyed pending the hearing of an appeal related to the results. Under the electoral laws of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the supervisor of elections can destroy election documents 1 year after the poll. But the main opposition New Democratic Party, the NDP, has challenged the results of the polls in Central Leeward and North Windward constituencies. Speaking on a local radio program on Thursday, Senior Counsel Anthony Astafan, who is representing the government in the matter, said he had no problem with the ruling of Justice Louis Blenman. And still to come in Caribbean Newsline, strike action in Bermuda put on pause. That story and more when we return. Stay with us.
Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and CaribVision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today.
Welcome to my island. Welcome to my Caribbean island. Welcome to my island.
Maybe in my next life, I'll become a golfer.
The Bermuda Industrial Union, BIU, has put strike action that affected public transportation and garbage collection for almost 3 days on pause. The decision means that bus operators and garbage collection crews are back on the job. But the union says the issues it was fighting for, including the renewal of a work permit for London-born African Methodist Episcopal pastor Reverend Nicholas Tweed, the call for the airport redevelopment project to be scrapped, and government addressing the pepper spraying of reporters last month are still to be resolved. Following a meeting of the union's general membership on Thursday, BIU President Chris Furbert backed the unionized workers, held a press conference at which he announced the decision.
But just know that there's issues as far as Reverend Tweed's work permit, the airport deal, and the threat of the America's Cup is still on the table. But they have decided. They have anti-pepper spraying of Bermudians on December the 2nd of last year. So I certainly hope that His Excellency the Governor and the Premier will not take that very lightly.
But there is no sign that government is backing down from its decision not to renew Tweed's work permit. Premier Michael Dunkley said Thursday night that the decision is final. Meantime, Furbert has responded to 2 online petitions promoting a boycott of all BIU-affiliated businesses over the union leading the strike action this week.
The BIU is an institution that's celebrating 70 years as an organization. We have member support over the years. We've had public support over the years. And if people are now going to decide that based on the last 2 days of what has transpired, they are now going to call for a boycott of all the BIU businesses, I don't know whether we get into this game about calling for a boycott of all our businesses. I'm not sure whether we want to have that conversation. But certainly, I can tell you that we are the greatest consumers around here. And if you want to see who's going to win that battle, then game on. Bring it on.
Meantime, in Trinidad and Tobago, the Oil Field Workers Trade Union has extended an olive branch to the authorities ahead of a planned 90-day strike on Monday. The union, which is seeking a 10% wage hike for workers at state-owned energy company Petrotrin, has rejected the company's offer of a 0% hike over the period 2014 to 2017. Negotiations for the previous period, 2011 to 2014, are currently before the Industrial Court. Following the latest round of talks involving Labour Minister Jennifer Baptiste Primus on Friday, OWTU President Ansel Roger said his union had placed before the court for consideration a 10% wage hike for the 2011-2014 period. He said if Petrotrin comes with a 10% offer for that period, the union would be prepared to call off the strike. Up to news time, it was uncertain whether the oil company was willing to offer that. But as we hear from Jabari Fraser of TV6 News, Petrotrin's President Fitzroy Harewood was a no-show at the first planned meeting with the Labour Minister on Thursday.
Fitzroy Harewood, who took up the assignment as Petrotrin President in November 2015, was key to moving the discussion beyond the 0.000% figures being offered by the state company. Was any reason given for his absence?
Well, we are not too sure what they communicated to the minister why he was absent. Some communication to the minister was made, as to why he was absent. We have our own view about that.
There's been significant public condemnation of OWTU's impending action, more so since news items gave the salaries of Petrotrin janitors, even though cleaning services are contracted to other companies. According to the figures, the cleaners make $64.14 per hour. At 40 hours a week, that's just over $10,000 every month. Mr. Roger says people are free to express their opinion on the strike action.
But they are not exposed to the facts as we are.
And police officers in Trinidad and Tobago say they will not be accepting a 0% increase when they enter into new wage negotiations. The association representing them says while it will not encourage officers to strike, the law, as they see it, does not stop them from doing so. Akash Samaru of CNC3 News tells us more.
Like the OWTU, the Police Service Social and Welfare Association says it will not be accepting an offer of 0% from the Chief Personnel Officer, especially as the association president says the government promised a better 2017.
You would have the Honorable Prime Minister coming in to say that 2017 is going to be a better year. We know our red flags have to go up there. We also have the Minister, Stuart Young, saying that there is going to be a bond, the maturity of bonds that will yield billions of dollars later on. That is an excuse that you as a stakeholder you must take cognizance of. And we will demonstrate to everyone why we are not with 000.
But if met with a 0% offer, how can the officers protest? It is commonly believed that the police service is an essential service, but Mr. Seals says that may not be true.
As an association, I would not want policemen to show dissatisfaction, nor discord, because at the end of the day, I keep hearing them saying that we are essential service, but according to the law, we are not considered as essential service. So when they say essential services are not allowed to strike. That is not so for policemen.
On March 23rd in 2015, on what was called a day of total policing, it was strongly believed that it was a form of protest by the officers. But Mr. Seals was quick to say that the association was not found in any wrongdoing. He also chose not to divulge the increase the association will ask for, but he said it will not be one set increase for all officers.
We can no longer say, right, it's a one-size-fits-all for a constable. It cannot be that, because we have to understand that there are different tiers that constables, that when they come into the job, they have different skill set that they can offer.
Mr. Seals says the police continue to call for a job evaluation and says very soon the qualification requirements for officers will change.
Policeman with 5 level is now a retrograde step. We have to move beyond the policeman who has 5 levels, because we may have to look like what the UK is saying. Policeman may have to actually have a first degree.
Some public sector workers in Jamaica will go on the breadline as a result of the government's public sector transformation program. But just how many is yet to be disclosed. Prime Minister Andrew Holness Thursday said there will be a wide-scale assessment of public sector employees to determine efficiency as well as capture what he described as ghost workers, people employed without a job description. But he stressed that the mission is not to just lay off workers. There will be a few merger and closure of various government entities as well.
I want to make an important statement. The objective of public sector transformation is not to cut jobs. Every time it is reported, every time it is said, the only thing that comes out, job cuts. In the restructuring, yes, there will be some jobs that will have to be displaced. But that is not the objective. We are not going into this thing to slash the civil service and get rid of the public sector workers. That's not the objective.
And ahead in Newsline Sport, an uncapped player named in the Jamaica Scorpions 14-man squad for this month's Super 50. Sport is next.
Do you want a real Barbadian experience with peace and tranquility? A home away from home feeling? Come and stay at Best E Villas. We offer 2 amazing locations to choose from, Prospect St. James or Christchurch. Plan a staycation for your anniversary, birthdays, summer or winter breaks, or any special event. Best E Villas is located in close proximity to our lovely beaches. Call us now at 246-425-9751 or visit us at bestevillas.com and make your booking for the best in villas.
Round Hay Pharmacy now has 2 locations to fill your prescriptions promptly and efficiently. Our branch at One Accord Plaza is open daily, including Sundays and bank holidays. Also, check out our new drive-through location at Warren's Healthcare Complex in Michael, the first and only drive-through pharmacy in Barbados. For more information, call Round Hay One Accord Plaza at 421-7863 and our new drive-through branch at Warren's in Michael at 424-5574.
Absolutely. I'm just really amazed that people are like, your work is that good that it deserves an award, for one. But to be consistent in that is a whole nother level for me, So I'm just really happy that people are happy that I'm doing good work, Yeah.
What kind of advice would you give to people that are trying to get into this business?
That if you worry about all this later, all the red carpet, all that, and just get the work done, if you just hone in and really focus on it, it'll happen.
Uncapped Damani Sewell and aggressive opener Stephen Taylor have been named in a Jamaica Scorpions 14-man squad for this month's Super 50 in Antigua and Barbuda. The 22-year-old Sewell, an off-spinner and steady lower-order batsman, caught the eyes of selectors during recent trial matches when he claimed 13 wickets and also produced some handy performances with the bat, including a top score of 37 not out. Sewell has been joined by the United States left-handed Taylor, who will make his first ever appearance for Scorpions after turning out for ICC Americas last year. The 23-year-old struggled with 82 runs from 5 outings. The remainder of the squad is straightforward with exciting West Indies all-rounder Rovman Powell, West Indies T20 batsman Chadwick Walton, Antiguan Devon Thomas, John Campbell, Jermaine Blackwood, Andrew McCarthy and Brandon King all selected. As expected, left-arm spinner Nikita Miller, who will lead the side, which will do battle in Group B against last year's losing finalist Barbados Pride, Guyana Jaguars, combined campuses and colleges Marooners, and ICC Americas. The regional Super 50 runs from January 24 to February 18. Staying with cricket now, 2 regional cricket administrators believe that right-hand fast bowler Ronsford Beaton can be an asset in Test cricket. Beaton has been named Guyana's best bowler in the T20 format. But speaking at a recent awards function in Guyana, West Indies Cricket Board Director Conde Raleigh and Honorary General Secretary of the Guyana Cricket Board Anand Sanansi said Beaton can potentially be a great fast bowler in the longest format of the game. Isan Griffith of Capital News has more in this report.
Guyanese fast bowler Ronsford Beaton is considered one of the best bowlers in the Caribbean with a bright future ahead of him. Director of the West Indies Cricket Board and chairman of the Barbados Pride cricket franchise, Conde Riley believes that Guyanese fast bowler Beaton can go further in his cricketing career. He stated that the bowler should concentrate more on the longer format of the game.
I'd like to urge Mr. Beaton to concentrate more on the longer format of the game, where he will build his stamina and fitness and go on to represent the West Indies if he so desires. I certainly believe that he is too promising to only play the shorter formats. He was our lead fast bowler 4 years ago at the Under-19 World Cup in New Zealand when we reached the semi-finals. He must give back more to the region and to Guyana.
Riley made the comments during his feature address at the Guyana Cricket Board 2016 Annual Awards ceremony held last Thursday night at the Umanayano. His comments were supported by Secretary of the Guyana Cricket Board, Anand Sanansi.
Ranson is a lot of talent. Let me just say this. Ronsford Beaton was an academy in the last cohort of the WICB Academy in Barbados. He had some injuries. The WICB helped him through it. And I am disappointed that we didn't get more. That's Guyana and West Indies cricket out of him. However, he had some issues which I hope he can overcome. But he refused an academy contract with the Jaguars, which is not something good. Maybe it wasn't one of the things he had to do to go international and play T20 cricket. But as Mr. Riley said, I firmly believe that you have to be rooted at the longer version. You have to be properly prepared at the longer version, and then everything else will come. I hope Beaton realized that earlier than later.
Chris Jordan outshone West Indies star Karen Pollard as Adelaide Strikers won for only the second time in 5 outings with a 5-wicket victory over Hobart Hurricanes in the Big Bash League on Friday. Sent in, Hobart managed 161 for 8 of 20 overs at Adelaide Oval when number 7 Beau Webster hammering an unbeaten 67 of 43 deliveries and Jonathan Wells getting 55 from 37 balls. The pair dug Hobart out of a hole at 30 for 5 in the 6th over, putting on an invaluable 89 for the 6th wicket. Jordan, the Barbados-born England all-rounder, bowled superbly to claim 3 for 24 from his 4 overs. In reply, Adelaide got home in the penultimate over with left-handed opener Ben Dunk, top scoring with an unbeaten 79 from 49 balls. He added 69 for the 3rd wicket with Brad Hodge, who made 30 and then partnered with Jordan in an unbroken 31-run 6-wicket stand to see Adelaide to victory. Jordan struck 15 not out of 14 balls with a single 6. With the win, Strikers climbed into the 6th spot in the 8-team standings on 4 points, while Hobart remained 5th on 4 points. Over to football now. Soca Warriors head coach Tom Saintfiet is holding out hope of Trinidad and Tobago still winning the Caribbean Football Union qualifying series despite their opening loss to Suriname on Wednesday. The hosts went down 2-1 to the Surinamis at the Atto Boland Stadium and now need to beat Haiti in their final game on Sunday in order to have any chance of topping the standings. The Belgian is hoping that Haiti will beat Suriname on Friday in order to keep the Warriors' chances alive in the qualifying series.
We need to hope that Haiti wins on Friday. It doesn't matter which result, but that Haiti wins against Suriname. And then it's up to us if we can beat Haiti in 90 minutes in a better score than they did and then we lost from Suriname. And then we can still qualify. But it's naturally very sour at the moment to imagine that it's not in our own hands.
Saintfiet, in only his 3rd game in charge of TNT, lamented the fact the team had not made more of their first half dominance. That's the sport. Stay with us.
Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and Carib Vision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today.
Again, the major developments of this day. The Trinidad and Tobago government bows to opposition demands for the controversial FATCA legislation to be sent to a joint select committee in Parliament, ending months of wrangling on the matter. And in sport, uncapped Omani Sewell and aggressive opener Stephen Taylor named in the Jamaica Scorpions 14-man squad for this month's Super 50. That's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sports round the clock, log on to CarneNews.com. We'll be back here again on Monday. But from all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching and have yourselves a good night.